Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to XCOM Asia for Operation Lone Dream. It's a moonlit night in Japan and most of the country is sleeping peacefully. But crime never sleeps, and neither do those jerks from outer space. So here's Earth's finest once more to capture a UFO and steal everything that isn't bolted down.
Central, this is Big Sky.
We're here, we're geared, and to start this mission, I'm going to jump right into a pro tip. To avoid triggering enemies at a bad time, the first moves you make should always be the furthest moves. If those moves trigger enemies, the rest of your squad has full actions to respond with instead of being caught out half-moved. Now I know that jumping straight into a lecture like that might seem a little jarring, but the reason for that is this time on my very first turn, I did not respect that rule.
Hostile spotted.
This is the theme of XCOM. You start to get complacent, or at least I did. You rationalize to yourself. It's unlikely that moving 2 spaces further will trigger enemies. But, unlikely as it was, it just happened. And now, with only one member of my squad having their full move left, I've put myself in a tricky situation. Now, with no enemies in weapons range, and very little leeway, I go defensive. Which is difficult due to my lack of cover. Cerebulin makes the most of half cover using Hunker Down, Oakley gets a little more distance, and Chromium joins her. Soylent and Spriggan have heavy tree cover, and they stay on Overwatch to try and protect the weaker squad members. The enemy makes it through,
Target's still up.
and against the aim of thin men, even Hunker Down isn't safe.
Evac! We need emergency evac now! Damn it, now!
So, for those keeping score, I'm a man down on my first turn, and half my squad is panicking. All because I thought I could get away with moving 2 extra squares. And that's why on Ironman Impossible, you cannot let your guard down. In case you forgot, panic means those troops now can't move this turn. And so my only usable heroes are Soylent and Oakley. The enemy is in good cover, and failing the kill is going to have dire consequences. So, nothing against Oakley, but I know who I'm relying on. A rocket for one enemy is excessive, but considering the situation, I had little alternative for a reliable shot. And not rolling Oakley's shot means now she can be used for Overwatch instead. Unfortunately, by luck or by skill, the remaining thin man stays out of her sights. Soylent's nanofiber vest helps him take it like a man, and now the enemy is stuck in the open. Sweet dreams. With the battle over for now, Spriggan and Chromium take over the front, while Soylent falls back for a little Oakley pep talk.
Come on, you'll be back in the fight ASAP.
But there's no brakes on the alien train, and 2 more inquisitive fellas bound into view. And quite amusingly manage to fly through the thin man poison. Not that it matters, because once again, in this lack of cover, I am completely uninterested in playing the dice game. Now in hindsight, this time the immediate rocket really was excessive. But what you don't know is at the time, I thought there was another thin man, and I wanted all other troops available for Overwatch. This is why it's very important to count your aliens when they trigger. And I'll go into more detail on that in the future. But for now, just know that I spend the next 7 minutes crawling through cover, expecting a thin man ambush at any moment. In fact, it's only about here, after far too many painstaking turns, that I finally start to realize maybe there isn't another thin man at all. With that huge weight lifted from my shoulders, I can relax a little, and start advancing on the UFO a little bit faster. The squad's gonna bound up while the sniper covers from the hill. Cause if there's anyone you want covering you, it's Oakley.
You hear that?
Hey, I think I left my keys outside. Oh god, it's XCOM!
Hostile spotted. Hoorah!
Soylent really loves kill-stealing Oakley.
Miss the target.
So, 1 sucker left. Now usually, I take the sniper shot first here, and then if it missed, I can deal with it with the rest of the squad. But in this situation, I think I can destroy his cover a bit. So the heavies go first.
Aye, aye.
Unfortunately, even though it does chop the tree down a bit, he's still got full cover. But sometimes Oakley comes through.
X-ray neutralized.
With the UFO rapidly running out of defenders, we slowly push in. And once we're a little closer, Oakley pulls out her new toy.
Let's have a peek.
As much as I love it, the battle scanner is a finicky prick, and I'm constantly learning how to work with it. Here, I learned that it won't see through walls or doors, but at least we know that one compartment is clear. And once we get there, the noises we hear tell us that the last occupant is very likely on the bridge.
What was that sound?
When the last alien is cooped up in the bridge, it's high fives all around. It's a tiny room with 2 small entrances, which makes it perfect for the SWAT takedown. Though, sadly, Cerebulon and the stun gun didn't make it this far, I'm sure it's what they would have wanted.
Target acquired.
There's the perp! Go, go, go! Put the gun down! Show me your hands! He's resisting, take him down!
Everything by the numbers.
It's always a sad day when we come home with an empty seat, but we can take heart in knowing that Cerebulon died protecting truth, justice, and the excessive use of force. Back home, there's a choice to be made for Captain Green. Grenadier lets you bring 2 grenades, but as the game progresses, the low damage of grenades means they really lose their appeal. But Danger Zone makes suppression work in an area of effect and increases the radius of the rocket explosion. And come on, it's called Danger Zone. I mean, that's where Soylent lives. In base affairs, our power generator finishes, and we start a sat uplink. Sectoid autopsy concludes, and next we research weapon fragments. Now, as great as these discoveries are, you'll have to excuse me for glossing over them for the moment, because right now, something terrifying is coming.
Breaking news at this hour. Reports from around the globe indicate a shift in the alien phenomena now affecting cities worldwide. We're now receiving word of outright attacks.
Looks like they've changed their tactics. It's a message to the entire world that nothing can stop them.
For what may be my final gift, join me tomorrow for a very special Iron Man Impossible.